Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Happy New Year going out to each and every one of you. I hope you had a great New Year's Eve yesterday. Over here in the UK, it was proper rainy and blustery and not the nicest days, but we're here in 2025 and Happy New Year going out to each and every one of you. And it's good to be here. Good to be back. This is going to be a very, very interesting transfer window for Arsenal. A lot of fans, even before the injury to Saka, were saying that Arsenal must get a striker, Arsenal must get an attacking player to have any chance of winning the league, Champions League, all the competitions that we're in. Now that Saka has been injured and is going to be out for at least a couple of months, I think that this window is a very, very important window for Mikel Arteta and for Arsenal Football Club. Of course, no Edu now to be doing business in it. This makes the window different again, because the first time we're not having him doing the transfers for quite a long time. What is this January transfer window going to hold for Arsenal? And as I said, I think it's absolutely critical. As things stand, third in the league, but still on the tails of Liverpool. But Liverpool got a big gap. They're playing brilliantly, and up front they're scoring lots and lots of goals. When you look at Arsenal, defending well still very hard to beat. Only lost 2 games this season, but drawn far too many games. And when teams have deployed a low block, we've struggled to break them down, leading to lots of fans saying, Mikel, where's our striker? Where is that killer who's going to go out there and get us 20 goals this season plus and lead us on to the title? So I think that this window is a very, very significant transfer window for Arsenal. He cannot leave us short in it. The window, of course, opened from today and will close on the 2nd of February at 11 p.m. And that is the time in which Arsenal have got, a chance to do something. From what we're understanding, there are no real big financial constraints on Arsenal right now. They're within all the PSR rules, financial fair play rules, within all of that. So if they want to do, they can go out there and spend big. Will they get that striker or attacking forward player that they are going to need? Now, there's a lot of talk that the priority is an attacking player, a player who can play right across the front three, someone who's going to be able to replace Saka, but then could maybe, play as a centre forward if need be. That's what we've been told is the priority. As I said, for a lot of fans out there, they want to see a striker, me included. I think that was the real big error which we made in the summer, not going out there and getting that clinical striker. Could that come back to haunt us? Or do we have a chance to rectify that here in January? Now, lots of attacking players out there that are being linked with a move to Arsenal. Let's start off with Victor Gorkarez. Right throughout the summer, he was linked with Arsenal. He ended up staying at Sporting and, not coming to the Premier League. But the one thing about him, he's still been banging in the goals. Celebrating yesterday the fact that he was the top goal scorer in all of Europe in 2024. 62 goals across all competitions in 2024. He's continued on his goal scoring this season for Sporting. 18 goals in 16 appearances. That is showing you that this is not a fluke with this guy. It's not just, he had one great season and that's it. He's continued it on. But we all know about the release clause, said to be around about £84 million. Now, 2 things. Should Arsenal go and meet that release clause? That's number 1. And number 2, if they did meet it, would Victor Gorkarez leave Sporting mid-season? Remember, they're still in the Champions League. They're still challenging in their league as well to win the title again. And of course, he's the main guy. Would he leave? I mean, I remember when we played Sporting, speaking to a lot of their fans over there in Portugal, they were like almost convinced that he won't leave mid-season. They know that he's going to leave in the summer, but they don't think he's going to leave mid-season. But going to be interesting to see what Arsenal do. There's been rumours that he's not Arsenal's priority. To me, I think a player like this should be, even at that £84 million release clause. If we're going to try and win the title, these are the type of signings that we should be looking at. There's a lot of people who are saying the guy that Arsenal need is Alexander Isak. We saw him against Manchester United scoring again. He's been on absolute fire this season. Looking at my notes here, 12 goals in 17 appearances. Brilliant. And in his last few games, he's been absolutely on fire. However, I think that this one is virtually impossible to get done for Arsenal. We've been told that he's like Arsenal's preferred target, but Newcastle have already slapped on a £150 million price tag on him. They're in no hurry to sell. Newcastle, of course, pushing for Champions League football for next season. They're in a good position, fifth in the table. They're playing really, really well, still battling on all fronts. Forget that signing. For me, as far as I'm concerned, no Isak signing is going to get made in January. But then you think to yourself, what do Arsenal do then? Do they then say, right, we're going to wait until the summer and get Isak, keep our powder dry on strikers, but we want to win a title. We want to compete in the Champions League. And to me, we are lacking a striker. But let's see how that one pans out. Now, this next one is one that we're being told Arsenal are very interested in. He's been described as the new Mo Salah. A lot of that being, the reason being is because he's from Egypt. He goes by the name of Omar Marmoush, and he's tearing it up in the Bundesliga this season. 13 goals in 15 appearances and 8 assists as well. A really, really good player, really has emerged this season. Can play as a centre forward, which is predominantly what he's been doing for Eintracht Frankfurt, but is versatile enough to play anywhere across the front three. He can play as a left winger, he can play as a right winger. He's brilliant on free kicks. If you go and Google and see a couple of the free kick goals that he scored this season, been absolutely brilliant. Now, according to Court Offside, they claim that Arsenal are leading the race to sign him this January. Now, he wouldn't be cheap. Valued at around about £60 million. That is the fee that we're being told that Eintracht Frankfurt would want that sort of fee to have any consideration of selling him at all. He's been questioned about his future, and he's, been making all the right noises as far as Eintracht Frankfurt's concerned. There's usual things like, listen, I'm focused on the here and now. I'm focused on Eintracht Frankfurt, However, he hasn't dismissed it completely and said, I'm not going anywhere. But Omar Marmoush is going to be one to keep an eye on this January transfer window. If Arsenal are looking for a striker that's in form, that is gettable, I think this guy could be it. But let's wait and see how it pans out throughout this month. Another player that Arsenal are reportedly looking at is Kingsley Coman of Bayern Munich. Now, we all know about his record. We all know about his record in winning titles. He's won titles literally every single place he's gone in his career. But reports are coming out of Germany that Arsenal are interested in taking him on a loan move from now till the end of the season. Now, loan moves may be something that's going to interest Arsenal a lot. It means that you don't have to spend big money on a player. It means that you can possibly go and get a quality player like a Kingsley Coman in from now until the end of the season. And of course, he could be a player that could replace Bukayo Saka until he comes back. I mean, Saka is a huge miss. Could a player like Kingsley Coman be that sort of guy that could come in and replace him in the short term? Going to be interesting to see how that one pans out, because I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal try and make some sort of loan move for a player in this period. Christopher Nkunku is another player that's been linked to Arsenal. Of course, Christopher Nkunku plays for Chelsea. I hear you lot already. Don't want no more Chelsea players in the team. But according to Court Offside, they're claiming that Chelsea would be willing to let him go this month. They spent a lot of money on him, Chelsea, £52 million, and he's just been a bit part player at Chelsea. He's getting very, very frustrated. Of course, he's a French international. When he came in from RB Leipzig, he was really, really highly thought to be one of the top sort of attacking players in Europe, but it's really not worked out for him at Chelsea. Could Arsenal go in and try and make a bid for him? £52 million, as I said, is what Chelsea paid. They'd be wanting to get as much as money back as possible. Is he the answer, though, to Arsenal's problems in attack? I'm not too sure about this one, and I'm not too sure that Chelsea would be willing to sell to Arsenal. Remember, they're battling out with Arsenal in the title race. I know they've lost their last couple of games. I know Maresco's saying they're not in a title race, but listen, if they can be in it, they want to be in it, and they don't want to be selling Arsenal a player that could come and help us. So it's a rumour. That's what we do on this show. As I always say, we report the rumours. Another player has been linked very heavily has been Marcus Rashford of Manchester United. We know he's on the way out of United. He's been dropped by Ruben Amorim. He hasn't been playing. You could argue he ain't played for years the way he's been playing. He's been really, really poor. But could he make a move somewhere else that will really, really rejuvenate his career? He's been made available by Manchester United. Listen, they wouldn't have to worry about Arsenal because they're not competing with Arsenal right now. They're almost in a relegation battle. Now, a possible loan move for Marcus Rashford has been muted in certain corners that Arsenal could possibly make a move. But it seems like a lot of reports are saying that Arsenal not interested in Marcus Rashford, even on a loan move. Would you guys take him on a loan move? I'd like to put that one out there in the comments today. Would you take Marcus Rashford on a loan? I mean, certainly for me, no way would I buy Marcus Rashford. Not when you've seen what he's been doing over the past couple of seasons, the attitude and all that sort of stuff. But for 6 months on loan till the end of the season to cover, whilst we're without Saka, I wouldn't be against that, but would love to hear from you guys out there in the comments. Another player being heavily linked with Arsenal is Olmo Kolo Muani of PSG. Now, 26 years of age, came into PSG with a big reputation on a big fee. £76 million they paid for him, a lot of money, but he's really not delivered at all. Even this season, only 2 goals in 10 appearances, been used really, really sparingly by PSG. They've been putting it out there for weeks that they're willing to either loan or sell him this transfer window. He's a centre forward, was doing really, really well before he came to PSG. Again, another player that's versatile enough to play across the front three. Could this be a January move for Arsenal? Has been heavily, heavily linked with a move. Could this be a move that maybe Arsenal could be interested in doing in this January transfer window? Again, a player that is available. We all know about how difficult it is to acquire players in the January transfer window. He's available. Should Arsenal go and make a move for Olmo Kolo Muani? As I said, being hawked around to loads of clubs in the Premier League right now by PSG. Could Arsenal make a move? Another player that Arsenal is said to be very, very interested in and are inquiring about at the moment is Dani Olmo of Barcelona. Now, Olmo is a Barcelona player. The only problem is they can't register him. They've tried to register him now twice. They had him originally on a sort of temporary register, but that ran out at the end of 2024. They have to register him again if he is to play for Barcelona. They've had their latest registration turned down. They are breaching the rules on financial fair play over there in Barcelona. Now, Barcelona still hopeful to get him registered. They're trying to do a deal where they're selling loads of boxes at their new stadium, VIP boxes, to help to raise the money. I mean, this is the state of what they're doing at Barcelona is absolutely crazy. But if they can't register him, they may be forced to sell him or loan him from now until the end of the season. A quality player. Remember, he's one of the stars of the Euros for Spain. Attacking midfielder, but can also play on the right wing, can play on the left wing, scores goals. Maybe a player that would interest Arsenal a lot. But is he going to leave Barcelona? That's going to be an interesting. That's going to be a bit of a saga that runs throughout this month. But Dani Olmo, possibility for Arsenal. Although the reports are he does want to stay at Barcelona, but it may not be in his hands. It's going to be interesting to see how that one pans out. I'm just naming out a few of the attacking players right now that could interest the Arsenal. There's loads of others that we've been linked to. I mean, we're playing Brentford. Brian Mbeumo's another one, although their managers already ruled that out and said, listen, no chance. But who are Arsenal going to bring in? For me, this is critical now. I don't want to see Arsenal do what we used to do a lot of times when we was under Arsene Wenger, when we used to say, we need a defensive midfielder. If we get a defensive midfielder, we could win the league. Then we don't go and do it, and then we end up falling short. We need either a striker or a wide forward player. You saw the other night in the game, Ethan Nwaneri was the only attacking player on that bench. Arsenal must go and do that in this January transfer window to give us a chance in these competitions. Guys, I want to hear from as many of you as possible right throughout this month. We're going to be here every single day right up until the 3rd of February, bringing you the transfer news. I'm going to be doing some live transfer shows as well in the evening, so look out for those. We're going to be doing our Transfer Daily extras as well, where me and the guys get together and have a big discussion around transfers. I want to get you guys as involved as much as possible. Let me know in the comments today who you would like to see Arsenal bring in. Also, a big reminder to check out some of our excellent videos that we put out over the Christmas period. The brilliant stuff from Sierra Leone, Football Through Change video that dropped yesterday. Absolutely brilliant. Make sure you check that out, featuring Manuel Eboué, ex-Arsenal player, and Kanu. That's absolutely fantastic, out right now. But we'll be back tomorrow with another Transfer Daily.